Hello, this is Truth Be Told Transformation, and I'm Bonnie Burkert, here to share tools for transformation to live your highest truth. One thing that's true for me is that if you really want to know your direction or purpose in life, you need to tune in. I mean, sure, you can ask guidance counselor, best friends, your parents, relatives, but really the best advice you're going to get is inward. So I thought I would invite to our show today an expert who is a life coach and wants to enhance our living. And she's done so by sharing her light and love to many. Welcome, Hemalayaa.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Living on purpose. So we could call purpose Dharma, correct?
It's a little different. Sanskrit is a little easy, a little challenging sometimes because it's not a direct translation. There's a little bit more to it. It's your essential destiny duty. That's really the translation of dharma. Dharma is it's what you came here to impart towards humanity being better, or this world being better. I like adding the word better.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and Hemalayaa, learning about you and what you've done, and I know that we're going to be seeing each other at Bhakti Fest 2023 in just a week, and at the time of airing, we're just going to be days away. And you've been with that Bhakti community, Bhakti meaning devotion and that uplifting, joyous spirit. That is so what you do. So through your path a little bit, tell us how you found that for yourself. Do what you love and the success will follow?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely following your heart, which is really your soul, your true self, right? Bhakti yoga, that's what Bhakti yoga is all about. Yoga is all about, is connecting in with your true self. This is the body that we came in here. This is the vehicle that we came in here to do the work that we came here to do, to make the impact that we came here to do. So following your heart is essential in that, and following your truth, your soul. And Bhakti yoga specifically says to make that soul, your true self, the guidance, basically your GPS, right? So each one of us has a internal navigational system. And that is really what Bhakti yoga is saying. So in our experiences, we call our experiences embody, EMBODY, because it is really inviting the soul, which can hover up here, but it's inviting the soul to be here in this material world, in this fully, so it can be the one that imparts and impacts and does the work and is guiding, is the one that's guiding us versus, the head can get involved. We here in this culture are very heady. We're taught to come from this place, the intellect and the mental body only, but there's 4 other bodies. So the physical is one of them. The emotional is one of them, the energetic is one of them, and the spiritual is another one. So if we can also incorporate the emotional, the energetic, and the spiritual in with the physical and the mental, which are the most dense, then we have the access to really do our dharma here, like really make our impact here. So yeah, I hope I answered that question.
Oh, you did beautifully. Why don't you give us a little preview of what to expect in your workshop at Bhakti Fest this year?
Yeah, so I have two workshops. One is going to be in the red tent, so that's going to be specific for the feminine divine. So those of you who are called to be in alignment with your feminine divine and what that's all about, or your divine feminine, I should say it like that. Actually, that's the better way to word it. That will be in the red tent, and that's really sacred work for us to empower ourselves. The feminine has been rising. So we're here to really rise together, to be empowered together. So there'll be that experience, and that will be movement, affirmations, tuning in, learning how to tune in, to go within for the answers, to turn on the navigational system from that internal place to your true self. Learn how to do that. So you'll walk away with tools for the daily on doing that. And then the other experience is with DTO. He's going to be doing our music. He's an incredible producer, composer, world music creator. He's my partner, and we create an experience together, which is really transformational movement. You know, waking up from the dust. And there's so many ways that we can awaken now, right? And to be remembering who we truly are. So there's so many different pathways. This one is true to yoga. And I don't mean yoga asana only. I mean the whole of yoga. So the whole of yoga is to bring us into that bliss state. So we are accessing all aspects of who we are. You know, I said already those 5 bodies, but I'll share the embody pathway, EMBODY, is being empowered so that you can empower others. So the E is for empowerment. The M is for movement. Yes, we're going to be moving in order to fuel your movement in the world. What are you behind? What are you the pioneer of? What are you creating in your life? What are you getting behind? That's movement. The B is for breakthroughs. We have tons of breakdowns. We know that. We stop, we procrastinate, we get stopped, we have depression, we get anxious in this society especially. So the breakthrough happens when that breakdown happens. And that's going to be continuous, right? Like those won't stop because we're in a transformational self-realizing path. So the O, when we go through the breakthrough, we come into the opportunity or openings. So the O is for openings or opportunities, both of those together. And that brings you into flow, right? So openings and opportunities, breakthroughs to the openings is flow. You're in flow then. The world is delivering exactly what you need to keep doing your dharma, which is the D is in embody. The D is dharma. Your specific destiny that you came here to impart to make this world better, to leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
That you came into it. And then what is the Y of embody? Take a guess.
You. Yoga?
Yes. You and yoga both. Exactly. You nailed it. Bonnie, you're on it. Pound for you. You're on it. That's awesome. That's exactly right. So it brings you back into, what does yoga mean? Union. You being in union with all that is around you, all your relations around you, and your dharma, doing that work in the world. So that's a quick little thing, but we are going to be going through this pathway of embody and really sharing what the embody method is so you can have an experience in your cellular structure. What I promise you is a shift at the end of this particular experience at Bhakti Fest through this experience with DTO and myself.
I welcome that.
And that experience is on Sunday.
I welcome that. And I look forward to it. And for people that can't make it to Joshua Tree this year, it is a biannual. Actually, I should say that differently. It's a festival that happens twice a year. But please know that you can find Himalaya and a lot of offerings online. And she does do individual work. Is that correct? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, actually, we are now the creators of Embody Costa Rica. So our work is physically in Costa Rica. We do some online still, but what I found is the biggest transformations and the biggest massive openings that we can have is in person.
Yeah. So
Costa Rica is our place. We found it to be so enhancing of the embodied pathway that it was a no-brainer. So we have a retreat center called Embody Costa Rica, and that's really where we're doing our transformational work. And we actually have a retreat coming up in December called a transformational camp for adults, where we practice all of what I was just sharing with you, and bhakti really your devotional yoga, your practice that you go home with. So it's kind of fun.
Doing the work. It's great. And you've really described some methods, some tools, some processes, if you will. But one of the things I did read when I was studying a little bit about you was that you love to use the natural world as something to inform you and uplift and maybe bring you, the teacher, back to spirit. So Joshua Tree, Costa Rica, I like it. I mean, tell us all a little bit, because one of the things I read was you mentioned in an interview, you said, even if you just find the grass, like a little patch of grass. So I share with it, because I love to share that. And I'm really just trying to, people are watching this on a computer right now, but I want to help them know, I'm sorry, if you can't get to Joshua Tree or Costa Rica, you can feel this way. So go ahead and enlighten us a little bit on localized tools that are within reach.
Yeah, absolutely. So a patch of grass, standing outside in the first moments of sunrise. Or whenever you wake up. And going outside, I like getting the sun right into my throat. So I'll open up my mouth, let the sunshine come in.
That's
of course,
unique.
I let the sunshine in my eyeballs.
Okay.
I let the sunshine in my armpits.
I
let the sunshine in my booty. Let the sun shine where it doesn't normally shine.
Right.
Because it doesn't really get access to that. And we want to bring in that light and the healing waves of the sun. So that's a simple little thing that you can do anywhere. And if you can't get outside, right? Because I was brought up in Canada. I know that cold, it's bitter. So you can also do it through the windows, preferably only screen, not glass, because that'll dilute it quite a lot. But maybe you could just open up the screen and let that sunshine in for just a few minutes or seconds. It'll make a difference.
Yeah, I definitely, I remember hearing that advice for a friend that was unfortunately very, very sick with cancer, and the importance, and she lived also northern. She was in Michigan, so right up there by Canada. And it was part of her treatment that was recommended was getting daily sunlight on the face. And there's a way that it can be done safe. I know we're told to beware of the sun, but I think I'm with you on that. A little bit every day can really, really help.
Yeah, the days of us like baking in the sun, lying out there and baking in the sun, we know that that's not good for us. But few minutes in the morning, especially when the sun's not so high. Yeah. I also let the sun in my heart space. That's where vitamin D also can be penetrated the best. So that's another addition. And when you are standing outside on the grass, if you can, soft knees. So you can really allow the energy of the earth to come on in and do her composting. So the earth does a natural vacuuming and, taking out the debris that we don't need, that we really should be putting in the garbage. So she's a great natural composter of energy that's in our being that can be transmuted.
It feels really good. So I'd like to share that I saw Hemalayaa in a video with Ellen DeGeneres teaching her some dancing, some Bolly booty. Is that what we call it? And that's where, when you mentioned the soft knees, I mean, obviously there's going to be some people that are only listening to this show and don't actually get to see you move. But I think that we can certainly describe a little softness in the knees, a little movement of the hips, right?
Yeah, it's exactly a softness of the hips. You can see if you can make just like a little figure 8 with your hips, or just a little flutter, like those of you who are on video. I'll just kind of show you what this looks like. It's like my knees are soft right now, and I'm just letting my pelvis go forward and back. Yeah. I know it's a little sexy too, right?
Well, that's part of life, isn't it? That's creation.
Yeah. Little circles in one direction, circles in the other direction. So simple things like this, because what happens in our culture is that we lock up real tight. So we lock up our knees. Yes. The energy can't come in through the body. It can't. When we're locked, it can't. So we soften our knees a little bit, just like that.
That's very good advice.
Jiggle, rock, get some looseness going. We're a very sitting culture. Yes. We're a sitting on computers indoor culture. So we want to balance that, rectify that by by these little simple things. And those of you who are able to and are courageous enough to come to our experience at Bhakti Fest and in Costa Rica, perhaps, you'll find that these are simple things, but they're so powerful. And when we do them in community, which we get to do when we're at a festival or a retreat like this, we're all for each other, held by each other, able to go deeper than we can alone. So that's really what I believe is, and Bhakti believes is, we can't do it alone. I mean, we are meant to be in community. We're meant to be human. Coming in this human existence is not because we came here to hang out by ourselves. We came here to connect with God on this level, God, Goddess, as well as those humans in front of us. So I'll go on more about that when you come in.
There you go, in person. Well, no, I really like what you're saying because, you know, again, we are coming out of a couple of years where we were on our own and here we are back at it. And there truly is nothing like it from an energy standpoint. And I mean, sure, we can do it on our own, but it's shallow. And the things you learn by being with people, sometimes unspoken, just in community. So it's a beautiful invitation, and I really like that. In our final couple minutes, let me talk to you a little bit. And I feel like I know what you're going to say, having just shown us a beautiful movement. But it's so intriguing to me to think about meditation, the seated, still meditation, versus the liberation that comes with moving the body, like you were describing, even just the shaking. I mean, even animals shake. I watch this hummingbird that lives on my porch, and he's constantly shaking and stretching and moving. So I would love to ask your experience between the two methods. I think we probably need them both, but give us a
yeah, we do need them both. Well, actually, in my experience and with the amount of research I've done around this over the last 20-something years, is that the movement takes us into that stillness and the peace.
Okay.
If we don't use our physical bodies and move and vibrate and shake and all of that, it's hard to tap in. It's not impossible, but it's challenging to slow down the mind to come into that peace, quiet state. So what movement does, the specific movements, especially what I've been practicing for, again, over 20 years, it's a quick pathway to peace. It's a quick pathway to clarity. It's a quick pathway to connection, source connection, and connection with your highest self.
Thank you. Well, I feel it, and you were, walking your talk fully, Hemalayaa. Thank you so much for having a quick little talk to us about what we can expect at this year's Bhakti Fest, which makes its return after, I think, 3 years, perhaps. So we'll see you in Joshua Tree super soon, and hopefully on the path elsewhere as well. Thank you again. You've given us some beautiful insight.
My pleasure. See you there.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Truth Be Told Transformation and part of Club Paranormal. Tony Sweet's Truth Be Told is on Fridays at 3 p.m. And you can catch him live, so be sure to tune in at that time at 3 p.m. Pacific. He's got lots of different guests to talk to, and we love to gather the community together, too. Robert Hensley also has got a vast archive of Minuteman reports, where he does a little survey and book reports about what's going on. And we also have Truth Be Told Español, Se Habla Verdad, with metaphor. I'm Bonnie Burkert, here to shed the light. I really have a wonderful opportunity and platform here to do just what Hemalayaa was talking about, to really pull people together. And yes, sure, we talked about the importance about being in person, but I also think it's important that we have a platform like this, Club Paranormal, that we can talk to each other and find each other and hopefully gather, as we did at our own event of the Parapod Festival. Look for that again in 2024. We appreciate the like and the share, so we hope to see you again super soon. Thanks for watching, and namaste.